I am the marketing manager here at Waste Consultants. Today, we are going to talk about part two of what we don't do. So our model is a little bit unique. Not a lot of people are very familiar with the consultant model, and sometimes we find that some of the people that we work with bring up some really good questions about, like, well, are you a waste hauler? Will you actually be providing the service at our locations? And the short answer, is no. We are consultants. We are solely a reviewing entity, an independent third party that looks over your contracts, your invoices, your waste and recycling streams to make sure that you are not sitting on any savings opportunities. So today we're just going to go a little bit more in detail about that. As waste consultants, our process is different from waste haulers or waste brokers. We believe we've created an audit and savings process that puts your interests first. We don't estimate your waste needs or leave your savings unprotected. We also don't perform waste services. Why? Because they are not ultimately in line with your best interests. It's just not how we can best serve you. As a third-party auditor, it's our responsibility not only to find the savings you're sitting on, but to prevent future waste and recycling issues. Doing any one of these interferes with both of these objectives. It's our goal to protect your interests, not undercut them. We don't estimate your waste disposal and recycling needs. Our waste audit takes a minimum of 2 months because you deserve to take advantage of every savings opportunity available to you. Our audit process is not just kind of a once-over look at your waste streams. We are really thorough and we dig down deep, which is why it takes the time that it does. Not most of these saving opportunities, not many of them, all of them. We find all of the savings opportunities that are available to you. We record all service information and perform history audits for every piece of equipment that is over 8 yards long. We look for and record price fluctuation, increases, overage fees, and other anomalies. Then we analyze where you're overspending, what equipment is working and not working. We identify gaps in your service. We look at where there may be opportunities to introduce technology, and we make sure we find the very best way that you can stop overspending. Regardless of whether you have one location or 100 locations, we will look at every nuance to make sure no savings opportunities slip through the cracks. After our initial audit is complete, we implement all recommended savings opportunities. We don't just leave you hanging. We come up with the saving solutions that are right for you, and then we have a conversation with you about their applicability. Basically, do you think the solution will work at this particular location? And then we'll show you how we're going to move forward with that. On rare occasions, we have clients who maybe have sold a property or are unexpectedly undergoing construction. So not all changes can be implemented right away, but we typically find that the majority of them can, almost all the time. We may make equipment switches or service changes that benefit your bottom line immediately or long term. We may also adjust your service levels so that they're actually efficient. When the changes have been made and all transitions are complete, the savings show up on your invoices. Typically, we are able to decrease your annual waste and recycling spend by 10 to 35%. Most haulers are out to make a buck. They know that most people don't care really about what they pay for waste. It's just not something that a lot of people want to spend most of their time analyzing or looking at. They know that most companies will pay whatever they charge for waste services. And as a result, you'll likely have price hikes several times a year, and you'll pay ridiculous ancillary fees, and you'll have very little recourse when pickups are consistently missed. We have so many of our clients who have shared with us examples after examples about haulers who just can't seem to get it together, that don't consistently provide the services they're contracted to provide, and it can just be extraordinarily frustrating. We ensure our hauler contracts prohibit or cap price spikes, that they prohibit auto renewal clauses, and that they include terms that are no longer than 3 years, among other specifications. So if your hauler raises prices, we can point to the contract provisions and insist on billing credits. Our contracts allow us to hold your haulers accountable for their billing practices and service quality. We protect your savings. We're invested in protecting your savings. We audit your waste invoices going forward, and we typically find that vendors make mistakes 10% of the time, and some of them aren't small. We had a situation just last year where one of our haulers at a particular location made a mistake on an invoice. They just moved a decimal place over a couple's places, and this poor client ended up having a 900% increase from the month prior. They got a $20,000 waste bill for one location, which for them was a huge problem, as it would be for anyone. And so, obviously haulers don't tend to make those kinds of mistakes all the time, but they do make little mistakes, and those mistakes do add up. As an independent third party, we painstakingly monitor your invoices to make sure that service is being provided as specified in your service agreement. And as an added bonus, we take on all the service issues you may have on a site. We know that you and your team are busy. We know that you can stand to have waste issues taken off of your plate. You and your staff have enough to do, so you can leave service concerns to the experts. We don't perform waste services. So we are waste and recycling solution providers, auditors, or reviewers. We are experts in waste streams and invoice analysis, but we are not waste haulers. We don't own any dump trucks or waste equipment. You'll never see us on your site lugging garbage around. We pride ourselves on being independent third-party auditors. This allows us to objectively look at your waste streams and find solutions that will yield savings. If we were haulers, we wouldn't have the incentive to find solutions that would reduce your waste expenses, ultimately costing haulers revenue in the process. Because we're not haulers, we aren't paid based on how frequently we service your site or how many pieces of waste equipment you're renting from us. We're paid based on the actual savings that we provide for you. Our waste and recycling audit services protect your interest. We protect your time and your bottom line. To provide you the very best service, we are thorough, we monitor haulers' invoices and resolve service issues, and we remain an independent voice in the waste industry.